Hello and welcome back on BERNAMA today. You're joining us, Jessie Chua, as well as Elaine Rob. It's a wonderful Wednesday as we bring you some interesting stories that are making headlines, I tell you.
That's right, not just here in Malaysia, but around the world as well. World Cup underway, Croatia versus England. What will be the story there?
Exactly, that will be coming up. But let's quickly talk about some of the top stories that we had earlier today. Of course, yesterday was Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamed's 93rd birthday, and Post Malaysia did something special for him.
That's right, they did. They in fact are launching stamps in his honour, and it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what they come out with. You can of course purchase this as well. Make your way down to Post Malaysia with this limited edition stamps to add to your collection.
I'm sure everyone is trying to get their hands on this. Those who are, I think it's called philatelists, the ones that collect stamps.
Right.
I know my dad used to collect first day letters or covers. I can't remember what they're called, and my brother actually took it on from them as well. So they like to collect this.
So you got a huge collection then within your family.
I don't. My dad.
Yeah. Bring it to the studio one day.
One day
Elaine,
we'll
we'll
see
have
all
a look.
this. It's really vintage. He has a 1957 edition.
Amazing.
Yes, seriously.
Oh wow.
It's awesome looking. So it's something to collect for history's sake. 93rd birthday, and of course the 7th Prime Minister twice to Mahathir. Go and get your limited edition stamps today. Now, we also had an update with regards to the Thai cave rescue of the boys.
This is an update, and it's the best update one could ever get from this particular story. All have been rescued, all 12 boys plus their coach have been safely evacuated from the cave, or rather the flooded cave. All this happened as of yesterday, and they are safe. They're going to be quarantined in the hospital for another 2 weeks, just so that they don't get infected or don't pick up any diseases. They are of course quite weak, considering that they only survived on a bit of snacks that they had taken in with them.
But they have something to look forward to get healthy, so that they can go to Old Trafford to meet their heroes. They've been invited by Manchester United, which takes us of course to World Cup updates. France has beaten Belgium to make it into the semi-finals. Next we're talking about Croatia versus England. Their match is coming up. We have a video to share with you with regards to Croatia versus England. Let's take a look. Well, Croatia versus England, I think they had quite an amazing time getting to the quarterfinals. This is their training visuals. Croatia was training, I think, early on Monday for their fight. England was training for their fight against Croatia. I think the fight is happening on the 12th, which is Thursday, and everybody is rooting for it. England has gone crazy with this celebration.
Absolutely. So it's just going to get more wild as we inch into semi-finals, into finals. It is going to be, just euphoria times 1,000. I think this is it. This is it.
Exactly. And the Three Lions have a shot at sporting immortality to finally, hopefully, take home the World Cup. Everybody's been waiting for it. It's been a long time.
It has been some time. But here from sports news, moving on to a bit of news in medicine, also medical news. They say, you know what? Guys, don't be your own doctor. Medical experts say that self-prescribing consumers are taking a huge risk.
I tell you, I'm sort of guilty of this as well sometimes, because you don't want to, go to the doctor for every little thing that you have. But we try not to prescribe ourselves. What we do is try to just find out what the symptoms are.
By Googling it.
And Googling it and sort of finding out, okay, what could this be? But at the end of the day, you're not the experts. Please go and see a doctor and have your symptoms and diagnosis done by a doctor before getting some medication from it. It's dangerous.
That's right. So what has just happened locally as well, a local news daily has uncovered while visiting several pharmacies, found that several pharmacies here dispensed Group B drugs without a doctor's prescription. Some of them also did not require the buyer to fill in the prescription book upon buying these controlled medicines. And this book is in fact kept for record purposes and to show the amount as well as the brand of Group B and C medicines dispensed to a particular individual. So these things have not been followed, they've not been logged in, but the health minister has come out to say something as well.
That's right. He said he's not saying that everybody who self-prescribes will die, but you're putting yourself at risk. You might be allergic to something in the pill that you're not aware of,
Yes.
and this could aggravate your condition, so it might not be helping you out. And on this note, I think we should lessen our dependence on drugs.
That's right. So there has been a few associations, or one particularly the Malaysian Pharmaceutical Society president. She is, or other person is Amarahi Buang, said that the availability of Google and medical research sites that we all are guilty of, we all do it, have created some sense of confidence among people who then go on to self-prescribe, and this is not safe or right. Consumers need to seek the advice and consultation from either pharmacists or doctors when chasing over-the-counter drugs.
Now let's give you a sort of an overview of what OTC drugs are.
Yeah.
OTC are over-the-counter drugs, and what are Group B and Group C drugs. Amrahi explained that there are generally 3 categories of drugs, of which only Group B drugs require doctor's prescription. Group B, he said, only a doctor can prescribe medication for ailments which among others include cardiac and high blood pressure diseases.
That's right. So without a doctor's prescription, a pharmacist cannot dispense these group of medicines. And of course, if you're wondering what kind of examples these are your Xanax and your antibiotics. A pharmacist, however, he said, can prescribe and dispense Group C medications for minor illnesses. And these are things like for fungal infections, minor headaches and flu.
And pharmacists are drug experts, and they ensure the safety, quality and efficacy of the process of dispensing medicines, because only pharmacists sit for Poisons Act tests. So he says OTC drugs, he stated, were common drugs or multivitamins.
So there are these layers or tiers for these OTC Group B and Group C drugs. Now that you know, understand that a pharmacist, I like how you put, they're an expert at drugs per se, at dispensing the drugs, while the doctors can actually help to diagnose you if you have a certain ailment or condition.
So moving on to international news, we have this story coming in about Afghanistan. Suicide bombing reported in Afghanistan has killed at least 12 people.
That's right. It just seems like it never ends. A suicide bombing in eastern Afghanistan killed at least 12 people just yesterday, including 2 intelligence service agents as well as 10 civilians.
Now, the Islamic State group claimed responsibility for the attack in a statement, and the bomber was on foot and targeted intelligence service, according to local authorities, which moves us to the next piece of information. Still on suicide bomber, there is no end to this. That was in Afghanistan. This is now in Pakistan. Suicide bomber kills secular party leader and 11 supporters at an election rally.
Right. This also happened yesterday. They say that the bomber struck a Tuesday night rally for Harun Ahmad Bilor, an Awami National Party candidate for a provincial seat. This, of course, we see footage from the particular bombing. Another 35 people were in fact wounded also in the attack, including the candidate's 16-year-old son.
And of course, the military has waged a major offensive against militants in the Swat Valley since 2009, and Islamist extremists has killed hundreds of ANP leaders and supporters in attacks around the 2013 election. So it's dangerous times there in Pakistan. We'll take a short breather right now. When we come back, we'll be speaking to a very special guest. We have Dato Azizan Nordin. He is the CEO of LADA, or Langkawi Development Authority, who's talking to us about sports tourism in particular and how it's key in enhancing tourism in Malaysia.
This is another area, another industry that's really booming as well.
That's
right. So do stay tuned. We'll be right back with that and more.
Hello, thanks for staying with us on BERNAMA today. You're watching BERNAMA News Channel. It's all about you. You're with me, Elena Abdullah, and we're speaking to a special guest in this segment. I have in the studio Dato Azizan Nordin. He is the CEO of LADA, or what's called the Langkawi Development Authority. And today we're talking about the topic of sports tourism and how it's key in enhancing tourism in Malaysia. Hello and welcome to the show, Dato.
Hi, Elena. How are you? Yeah.
I'm good.
Oh,
thank you for being on the show. We wanted to have a little bit of a background first. I understand that you took over CEO of LADA just as late as 2017.
Yeah,
so it's been a short stint, but perhaps you can tell us a little bit about LADA, what its role is in the development.
And as what you said just now, I was the Deputy Director General of Tourism Malaysia. I retired in the year 2016 and I was offered this job in 2017. And since then I've been working for LADA. And there are 3 main trusts that I have to look into. Number 1 is tourism.
Right.
Number 2 is the community development.
Right.
And number 3 will be on investment.
Right.
So these are the 3 trusts that we have, and this is what Langkawi Development Authority or LADA is looking. And when I came in, of course, to me, the low-lying fruits will be on tourism.
Right.
That's why I developed more on tourism itself. And since then, we have about 33 events every year, and including sports, tourism. And when we have these events in Langkawi, the community came in. So I should say the community in Langkawi is more on tourism industry itself, because in any household, there must be somebody who's working directly or indirectly on the industry itself.
That's right. It's tourism industry.
Tourism industry. And because of that, now we get a lot of investments coming in. And people are asking if there is land for them to open up hotels and all that. And I should say that we have lands for leasing that we would like to invite investors who are interested to come and invest in Langkawi, not only to open hotels but also premium outlets and so forth. So that's why that we are really keen in developing sports tourism, because it is bringing the number of tourists that come in. And in fact, last year we got 3.67 million tourists that came in.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was an increase of about 1.2% compared to the year before, and bringing us a revenue of about 6.5 billion ringgit to Langkawi.
So it looks like your strategy of hitting the low-lying fruits has borne fruit on the other 2 thrusts that you're looking at, because you were talking about tourism as well as community development, as well as investment. And the sports tourism is bringing the community together and developing the community, as well as creating the investments for the people who are interested to bring economic boom, for example, to Langkawi. Now let's talk about sports tourism in general. What's the state of sports tourism in Malaysia and the background of it?
Well, sports tourism, I believe it dated back about 25 years ago. It has been there in the country, and I believe it has also promoted Malaysia at the international arena.
It has.
Especially when we hosted the 1998 Commonwealth Game.
Yep.
And furthermore, when we opened up the Sepang circuit, I was partly involved in that too, in promoting 1999 onwards.
Sounds like exciting times in those days.
Race, the F1 race really brought in, tourists to come in here.
Were you sad to see it leave then?
Precisely. I was, you see. So these are the things that it has been happening in the country. So when I came into LADA, and there was an event that I was part of the group that started it, because I was under my scepter. I was sitting on the board. The Ironman.
Yes.
The Ironman. Now we are going to host Ironman for the 4th year in Langkawi. So last year, in fact, we got 1,500 participants that came from all over the world to compete in the Ironman in Langkawi. And the special thing is that those who qualified the race in Langkawi, they automatically can go to the finals in Hawaii.
Right.
So that's what is important. But like what I said earlier, how it affects the local people is that we get the whole community to be involved. So the planning will be for more than 3 months before that. And we get, the local community to provide nasi lemak and all that, and then the places for them when they run along these places to provide drinks and all that. So when they come to participate in the 3.8 kilometer of swimming, 180 kilometer of cycling, and 42 kilometer of running. So when they go along the kampung and all that, the people in the kampung comes up, and they will, provide all the food. But of course, we will pay for it. Yeah, but the thing is, it goes back to the people there.
That's right.
And also, besides that, more than almost quarter of those people who compete, they will come earlier. They will stay in Langkawi for more than 14 days.
We saw some visuals earlier, footage from, I'm assuming, the Ironman race. As you can see here, it looks like Langkawi is the perfect place for you to be able to both enjoy the rigorous activities of this Ironman as well as the natural environment. So what is it about Langkawi that keeps drawing all the people back?
Yeah, our main attraction is actually the environment. As you know, we got the Langkawi UNESCO Global Geopark title, and we have to really maintain it.
Yes.
Next year will be the revalidation every 3 years, and we have to maintain it. And not people know that Langkawi is actually a 550 million years old island.
Wow.
So it dated back more than the Jurassic age, you know. So when I talk about the stones, the rocks, and all that, people got so excited.
Exactly.
But this is the thing when people come here.
Now, let's talk about this 515 million year old island. It's no small feat to be able to maintain it, especially with the activities that you're putting the strain on. You have tourists coming in. So what does it take to maintain Langkawi as a geopark?
We have to really work with the NGOs especially and the local council and the district office to maintain, especially on cleanliness and so forth, and also in the planning, further planning of all the developments coming in Langkawi.
Is the community participative in this? Are they conscious of the efforts necessary in order for them to be able to maintain this national treasure?
Yes, in fact, they are very much involved in this, and LADA, we have our program, education program. We start from the schools.
Oh, perfect.
There are more than 30 schools in Langkawi, and they have the Geopark Club in the schools. So we start with them, and as they grow up, I think it will really affect. And then we do organize, we have groups like the Geopark ambassadors and so forth. These are the local people from the normal, ordinary citizen, and they are part of the global Geopark ambassadors. So we really work a lot. And then other than that, we also bring in foreign like fam trips and all that, and we also organize forum for those coming from other geopark or UNESCO sites, to come and learn to what we have practiced in Langkawi.
It sounds like you guys are doing a great job. Now we'll talk more about the development that you have planned for Langkawi, but for now we'll take a short breather. Stay tuned. We will be right back right after these messages. Hello, thanks for staying with us on BERNAMA News Channel, where it's all about you. You're watching BERNAMA today. I'm Milian Rabla, and in the studio I'm speaking to a very special guest. I'm speaking to Dato' Azizah Nordin. He's the CEO of LADA, or the Langkawi Development Authority. Dato', good to have you sort of do a recap earlier when we spoke about Langkawi and sports tourism. And we were talking about how sports tourism has the capacity to bring in economic benefits. So what are the key important benefits of sports tourism for the community development as well as the economic growth of Langkawi itself?
A very good example, actually, the World Cup in Russia now.
That's right.
The whole, global society, people are going to Russia, not only watching from the TV, but going there physically.
Yes.
So that's why that we organize a lot of sporting events in Langkawi. And out of the 33 events that we have every year, starting last year, 16 are sport events, just sporting events. And then we have 4 sailing events out of the 16, and 5 running events, and the others are the marathons. So you can see we can cater to all kinds of enthusiasts or other fans that comes in.
And I understand that there's a run that's coming up.
That is the Langkawi. Langkawi is Langkawi.
That's right.
So this is a new one. This is a new one that we, with the organizer, this is under the patronage of the Tunku Laksmana, from the royal family of Kedah, that we are going to organize. This is actually sort of like, let's say it can be a fun run. It's a sunset run. Usually when people organize runs, marathons early in the morning or the whole day, but we are going to do it for sunset, because the sunset in Langkawi is something that we should go for.
It's quite spectacular to be able to see the sun sort of like cresting over the horizon. It's just a view not to be missed.
So we have the 21-kilometer category. So we have about 500 people is already coming in, and then we have the 10-kilometer category, 300 participants, and we have the 5 kilometer is 1,200 participants coming in. So we have the 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer and 21 kilometers. Yeah.
If I were to participate, only the 5 kilometers. I don't think I can do up to 10 kilometers or
but
21 kilometers.
What's important in sport events is that your participation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Be part of the atmosphere. At least you're out, you're exercising.
That's
You know,
right.
that's one of the things that sports tourism helps. It's sort of combining both things. You get to enjoy the destination, as well as be able to do some sporting activities to keep you healthy
For
as
the
well.
5 kilometer, many are coming with their families. So you have children, 7, 8 years old coming in with their parents and all that. And this will be from 6 o'clock until night. And we have certain places where they can stop and perform the Maghrib also.
Right.
You're going to be along the kampung and all that. So they can do that and they can stop and have the ice kacang if they want to. So this is the fun run.
It's
so
a family, whole community activity. Now, just perhaps you can quickly tell us about what are the future plans that you have from LADA in order for you to be able to, see the continuous growth of Langkawi.
Future plans, we have quite a number of plans especially, and number one, I should say that we would like to get more people to come in to invest to build hotels in Langkawi. Now we have about 11,800 rooms in Langkawi, and we need about 15,000 rooms by the year 2020. So there's still demand. Yes.
Right.
By the year 2020, we are hoping to get 5 million tourists. And now we have only about 242 flights a week. And flights also coming in from Singapore and China. And China, we have almost every day we have at least one flights coming in. Yeah? So with this development, I hope I can get more tourists to come in. And the other development is again on the event itself. So we are coming up with quite a number of other events to fit into all those people that come in, so that they can enjoy the activities in Langkawi, because Langkawi is more on the nature, the low carbon as they call it, and the clear blue sky and the blue seas and all that. Especially the Chinese tourists.
I'm already imagining myself there, next to the beach, on the beach, next to water, enjoying the environment. So if any one of you have plans to Cuti Malaysia, Langkawi should be your destination. Look at those images. If you are not sort of like the sit down and do nothing kind of people, Langkawi is also the perfect destination, because you can actually get involved in activities, whether it's marathon, if it's not your thing, you can do a fun one, or a sailing event.
Sailing event, yeah.
Thank you so much, Dato', for that. We hope that Langkawi has more activities and we'll be able to see more growth for the future.
And I would like to invite you and all the audience up there to come to Malaysia and try the Run Kawi.
Yes, Run Kawi is just around the corner. Make sure that if you're in the area, you are participating in that. That's all the time that we have on BERNAMA today. Thanks for staying with us to the end of the show. Terima kasih. And stay tuned for more news that's coming up on BNC. Bye for now. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.